I'm David Sutter from Wyopreps.com. It's time for our Athlete of the Week honors presented by Premier Bone and Joint Centers of Wyoming. We're worthy of Wyoming. And this week's girls winner is Danika Crumrine from Lovell High School. The Bulldog won the 140-pound title at the Grable Memorial Wrestling Tournament. It helped the Bulldogs as a team finish second in the standings. She improved to 33-5 on the season, rather. Did not allow a single point scored against her last weekend at Grable, and had 3 first period pins in winning that 140-pound title. She also won her 100th career match and was named the outstanding wrestler of the tournament. Danika joins me. Congratulations on all of that and for being our athlete of the week, Danika. I guess take me back to last weekend. Something had to go right. What went right on the mat for you last weekend in Grable?
Thank you so much, first of all. And then, I don't know, I just kind of went out there really confidently and I just was feeling it and just went out there and controlled the matches and did what I wanted to do and didn't really let up, I guess. I just kept going and kept the pressure on, and I think that's what really helped me this weekend.
Is that something you've been kind of working on training wise, or was it something that just kind of developed, with your strategy going into that day?
Definitely, it's been something we've been working on all season, especially in neutral. I've been really trying to push the pace in neutral and just kind of work on that. And so it's been like a year long, season long thing that we've been working on and really focusing on.
So obviously it pays off, but how do you go about getting a pin and getting it done so quickly in the first period? Kind of take me through your mindset in each match and how you accomplish that.
I definitely throughout all of high school, I've been more of like someone that likes to pin than likes to tech or anything like that. So that's definitely the goal every time. And I just kind of have gotten better at not like forcing anything and just being able to adjust to what they give me. So it kind of opens up a lot when I can just run moves out of any position mostly because I'm just taking what they give me. So definitely that really helps. It's just being adaptable to every situation.
What was it like for you last weekend to get your 100th win in your high school career?
It was definitely really great. I was really proud of myself for doing that, something I've been really looking forward to. It was something that was a little uncertain. I've been like injured all of high school, so that made me really proud that I was still able to get that with being injured most of my high school career and with the girls wrestling not being sanctioned my freshman year. So it's definitely something I was really proud about. So it was really exciting to get that.
You mentioned an interesting one, not sanctioned your freshman year. So how have you seen and you yourself grown as the sport's grown in Wyoming high school ranks over these last 3 years?
It's definitely been like awesome to see just how much the sport has really grown in the competition. A lot of these girls, they've been like first year girls and then they're top in the state. So it's just really cool to see how well everyone's grown. And it's just definitely, I've grown a lot, especially wrestling the girls, because it's different technique and you have to really adjust to that. So I think in the past few years, I've gotten a lot better at wrestling girls over these past few years.
So we've celebrated and talked about your 100th career win, 3 first period pins. You win the title of 140. All of a sudden, you're named the outstanding wrestler of the tournament. What was
Yeah.
that like?
It was definitely really exciting. It's been one of my goals in high school to get an outstanding wrestler award, and I was kind of like, well, we're kind of running out of time, so it was definitely a big thing. It's something I've really wanted to do, so it was really exciting to get that.
What have you been focusing on training wise, besides being healthy and staying healthy, to get yourself ready? Because you got an important part of the season coming up with regionals
Yeah.
and state.
Most of my training this year, a big change that we've done is more of mental training. And it's been like a big difference wrestling confidently. And so I think what has really helped me this year. And I'm just trying to keep my head in the right space. And then also just really improved on my neutral because before this year, neutral was kind of my weak point. So we've been really focusing on that and just staying in good position on top.
Why do you love wrestling so much? What kind of appealed to you about that sport that you jumped in, especially in the high school ranks?
I definitely, I don't know, growing up, I did it. And so it was just kind of, I've grown up with my dad and my brothers, and it's just been a close bonding thing. So I've kind of just grown up with the love for the sport. And then I didn't do it in middle school, but then high school, I was like, I really miss wrestling, and it's just such a good atmosphere to be around. So I decided to come back, and I'm really glad that I did. I love the atmosphere.
That's cool. What about Lovell as a team finishing second last week? I know a little bit of separation between you and the top team, but what did that mean to you and the rest of the girls on the team?
It was a really great accomplishment for us, especially placing higher than Shoshone. Like they've been pretty dominant. And so I think it was, especially for our two freshman girls who regularly wrestle some Shoshone girls, I think it was really cool to be able to place above them and just especially for our freshman girls, it was a really great accomplishment to be able to bring home some hardware and kind of show them. I think it really helped with confidence. I think it was a big thing.
Well, congratulations on an
Thank
outstanding
you.
performance in Grable, and congrats on being our athlete of the week. Thank you for taking a few minutes to chat about it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
David Settle back from Wyopreps.com as we continue talking about our athletes of the week this week. We've got a shared boys honor, and ironically, both from the same high school. But one of them is Fisk Johansson, a talented Nordic skier from Kelly Walsh High School in Casper who dominated last weekend's Jacobson Memorial. He won both the races as he ended up winning the freestyle by close to 17 seconds and then nearly 40 seconds as time of victory in the classic race last Saturday on the Casper Mountain Trails. I'm sure it helps knowing the trails a little bit on your home mountain. But Fisk joins me right now. First of all, congrats on being our athlete of the week. Fisk, take me back to last weekend. Describe your performance. How do you think you skied last weekend on the trails?
Yeah, it was a pretty good, I would say it was a pretty good weekend. The snow was nice and fresh. Our groomer did a really good job up there prepping the race course for us. I went into it not feeling my total best. I think I was caught a little something, but anyway, I managed to pull through it and just kind of get my head in the game. And yeah, I mean, I was able to win both meets, which was pretty exciting for me.
What's the key for you in each discipline? Start with the freestyle, which you guys skied last Friday.
Just like the key for it, I like to like section the course, like put it out in certain chunks. So like in this one, we had three major hills that I focused on, and I think that really helped just kind of like separate it out and separate where I need to go harder, where I need to kind of tone it back a little and whatnot.
What about Saturday in the classic? What's your key there?
Saturday in the classic. Classic is definitely my favorite and of the two, and I won the state championship last year in classic by I think 30 seconds. And so there I just catch as many people as I can, and my goal was to finish first in the interval start, and I did that. So yeah.
Well, congrats on your success. What is it about cross country skiing that really, I guess, appealed to you and has made you successful in that sport at the high school level here in Wyoming?
Um, I think just being up in the mountains, honestly, and just racing. I love racing. I love competing. And I like meeting all the new people that I get to compete with, and it's just kind of cool to see that like go from friend to competitor in a sense. And so, yeah, I think that's what I really like about it.
What was it something where your parents put you on skis at an early age and it just kind of took off from there, or what happened?
Yeah, so my dad, he put me on skis around when I was in fifth grade, and just from then I've just been doing as many races as I could. And I started out really, really hating the sport, but as time wore on, I just loved it. And yeah, now it's definitely my favorite sport. So yeah.
What do you focus on with your training to keep you at a high level?
I focus on like, workout sense. I focus on really high intensity and a lot of distance. I think that is definitely the key to being successful in really any endurance sport is just high intensity.
Gotcha. What has Coach Jerding kind of meant to you over these last few seasons at the prep level there at Kelly Walsh?
Coach Judy means the world to me. She's such a great coach. She's taught me so much about racing, so much about myself, and um, she was a really good skier in her time, one of the best in the country, and it's just cool that she can kind of pass that down and teach us everything she knows. And yeah.
Lastly, from me, and maybe not so much related to your performance last week, but kind of thinking ahead, you guys are just a few weeks out from state. What do you need to do to kind of, I guess, quote unquote, sharpen up and get yourself ready?
Just really dial in nutrition, dial in rest, and then not necessarily like taper, but maybe cut down or maybe start some easier sessions and stuff like that.
Well, if you weren't quite 100% healthy last week and you accomplished that, I hate to see it when you're healthy, man. But hey, thank you for taking a few minutes and congrats on being one of our athletes of the week.
Thank you.
David Settle back with you from Wyopreps.com as we continue talking about our Athlete of the Week feature presented by Premier Bone and Joint Centers. We're worthy of Wyoming, and our Share Boys honor, as I started talking about earlier, goes to not one but two young men from Kelly Walsh High School at Fisk Johansson from the Nordic ski team, and he's sharing the honor with a fellow classmate and Dylan Sorensen from the wrestling team at Kelly Walsh High School. He helped the Trojans win the gold bracket at the Rumble in Rollins last weekend. Dylan went 3-0 at 120 pounds. He had a pin, an 18-0 tech fall, and another pin. Also had a forfeit mixed in there, but Dylan joins me. Dylan, congrats on being one of our Athletes of the Week. First of all, take me back to Rollins last weekend, and how would you assess how you performed on the mat last weekend in Rollins?
Thank you. I'd say I wrestled pretty good overall. Like first match, second match out. I was really key focused on like heavy hands and stuff like that, so I worked that in a lot, and that felt pretty good. And then when it came to that third match, I knew I had a tough kid, so I wanted to wrestle at the best I could, and I knew he was going to come out hard and stuff, so I knew I had to slow him down. And he came in tough, and he ended up getting first takedown, which usually is pretty rough. But, just kind of kept my head on my shoulders, scrambled out of it, and ended up with the pin. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's one of the best wrestlers in the state in Hudson Baker, who you pinned there in the finals. Talk a little bit about what was your focus going into this tournament? Were there certain parts of wrestling that you and Coach Peak and the rest of the staff were kind of having you focus on?
Yeah, kind of. One thing that I've been focusing on this year is like when I get into my shots, I kind of hit like a dead spot and I stop and slow down, and that lets kids kind of defend my shots a little easier. So I've been focusing a lot on finishing my shots a lot quicker and kind of sticking to the basics when I take my shots. So set my shot up and then finish fast.
Obviously, the Rumble in Rollins not necessarily 100% like the toughest competition that you guys have faced so far this season. But as you looked at that, was that maybe kind of a nice break for you to wrestle some different type of competition, knowing what's coming up in the next few weeks?
Yeah, kind of. It was nice to kind of get it like not necessarily easy, but like a little bit like smaller schools, but kids that still know how to wrestle. So we still get the good feel for wrestling, so we can keep up our intensity and stuff that we've been working on in the practice room without having that super big like I don't know how to explain it, kind of like fear of failing, like in the big tournaments like Ronthon and State and stuff like that. It's kind of one of those tournaments where we could afford to lose, but we don't want to lose.
I got you. For you, where does the passion and the love for wrestling come from?
I've kind of just been in love with it since I started when I was like 4 or 5 years old. My dad always tells me, he's like, I came up to him and I asked him if I could try out wrestling, and he was a little bit hesitant at first because he was a wrestler, so he knew what was in for me. And I came out, and he said I ended up just being just a tough kid and just being pretty good at wrestling. So I kind of stuck with it and loved it ever since.
How would you describe how this season's going for you from your perspective?
There's a couple tournaments where I feel like I should have done better, and I wish I did. But overall, I'm wrestling great. I'm glad that I'm getting in a full season. Like a couple of my seasons have been cut short because of injuries, but this year I've been kind of staying free from that stuff and just working on trying to get better and getting ready for college.
For you, big duel coming up on Thursday. It's the John Miller Cup against Natrono. What are your thoughts matching up against the crosstown rivals?
I'm super pumped. It's always such a fun duel to do. I think our team's been working real hard in the practice room, so I think we can get it. We just got to come out and be ready to bang.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It should be a close match between you and the Mustangs. And then what specifically do you still need to, I guess, maybe kind of fine tune as you get ready for the next couple of weeks, which are big between regionals and state, Dylan?
Some things that I'm gonna work on a lot are probably getting up off bottom. I kind of struggled with that at a couple of tournaments this year, so we're gonna work on that a lot. And then like finishing my shots, still trying to work on that. So.
Well, Dylan, thanks so much for your time. Again, congrats on being our Athlete of the Week. Congrats on your success, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with me.
Sweet. Thank you so much.